Hi there again. This is John Burrows, and I'm going to continue with 7 Years to Life, Deleted Scenes. The name of this deleted scene is The Obelisk. Um, my mother, when I was a teenager, I don't know, 17 or so, found me a job in South San Francisco at Fuller Paints. If you were heading north on 101 towards San Francisco, you would pull off to the right of 101 on the Grand Avenue exit, and you would just keep going down, down, down until the end of the road, until there was a Fuller Paint factory. And she got me a job in this factory, uh, which I approximately lasted 2 days. It was like working in a prison yard. I mean, it was. I can't really describe the heat, the exhaustion, the pain when you're working inside a factory and doing the same thing every day. I've never been really opposed to hard work. For instance, when I was working in ship repair, some days were easy, but a lot of days were really hard. But the good thing about that, it was mostly outside, on ships, by the water, and each day it was something different that you would do. Anyway, when I used to go down to Fuller Paints, I didn't realize there was such a large amount of land on the right side of the freeway at right side of 101 as opposed to the left side. I mean, the left side had more land, but I never realized the right side had as much as it did. I thought it would hit the bay pretty quick. But I remember going by a couple of days when I went down to work, those 2 days, and I would see this big kind of mountain, kind of hill up on top of the hill. And so I saw some object on top of the hill, and I was telling Robbie A. and Bob B. about it. Once again, those were my two cohorts in the Three Musketeers of Acid. And so we decided to go down there one night and, kind of figure out the mystery of this object on top of this large hill. And of course, we were on LSD, and we went down there and we had the light shining, and it was hard to find the road to this semi-mountain. I'm going to call it a very large hill, but we found it. And on top of it was this large black, not cylinder, but obelisk type of looking thing. If you remember the movie 2001, The Space Odyssey, well, then you'll have an idea of what this obelisk looked like. And this night, we were just the three of us happened to be up there, and we went up to the top of the road, and we were by this hill, and we rolled down the windows in the car, and we just heard the most strange noises coming from this inanimate object. Very strange, almost alien-like. And, to this day we wonder about whether or not it was. And the one trip obviously didn't satisfy our curiosity. So we would hang out a lot and do a lot of different things. But a couple of weeks later, I think it was, we decided to go back out to the obelisk. That's what we called it. It was very, very spooky because of the sounds that you would hear emanating from it, like these vibrations, and it could very well be South San Francisco was a windy city, and it could very well be this wind blowing through and around this obelisk, but we didn't know what the obelisk was. It was just this structure out there. Well, when we went back that 2 weeks later, it wasn't only us. There were about, I'd say, another 20 people, maybe 30, of all ages. And when I say all ages, I'm not talking from teenagers to 60 years old. And, a lot of people have the misconception that back in the 60s, only young people were taking acid. Well, there were a lot of adults that were doing LSD, a la Timothy Leary, who considered him the guru of LSD. So there were a lot of adults out there. And I think, and I can't say for sure, and we talked about it, the three of us, all the time, what was going on out there? All the people that were out there and around us were hearing these strange noises, and the noises, for some reason, seemed to communicate, bring back imageries of your past, what you thought the future might look like, and just the sheer darkness on top of the hill on the other side of the freeway in South San Francisco with this big obelisk in front of you. You could let your imagination run away with you. But what I'm trying to say is there were 20 or 30 other people there besides us, and they were all staring up at this thing, mesmerized. We weren't looking at each other. We were just mesmerized by the sounds. And we stayed there for at least 45 minutes and went through this experience. And when we talked about it later, we all had kind of different experiences of what we thought it was. But in the end, we thought it was some type of, for lack of a better term, I'm not sure we all thought that, but I had a feeling it. And I think most people, when you looked at what had happened, most people were up there thinking that it was aliens trying to communicate. Anyway, it was a mystery, and it was a scene that I decided to include in the book because it's still a mystery today, and Robbie A. had reminded me of it, and very strange chapter in my life. I still don't know what it was all about, but I do remember a feeling of something otherworldly trying to communicate with humanity. I don't know if it was something like that happening across the country or anything like that. I'm not even going to venture a guess, but that's the story of the obelisk, and it's a deleted scene from my book, 7 Years to Life, but I wanted everyone to know about it and kind of mull on it, and, well, you try and figure out what it is. Anyway, this is John Burrows signing off. I'll be back with more deleted scenes. I hope you enjoy this one, and I will talk to you later.